The moment I pulled my brand new Bentley Flying Spur into the driveway of my recently purchased home, I felt it. That unmistakable sensation of eyes on me. I hadn't even cut the engine before I noticed her in my side mirror, a woman in her mid-50s with perfectly styled platinum hair and oversized designer sunglasses, storming across the street like a woman on a mission. Her floral sweater fluttered in the wind as she made a beeline straight for my car. Her face was already twisted with fury before she even spoke. "Excuse me!" she bellowed, loud enough to pierce my closed windows. "Who are you, and what are you doing with that vehicle?" I stepped out of the car slowly, keys in hand. "Hey there," I said calmly. "Name's Marcus. I just bought this house. 2764 Maple Grove. Just getting settled in today." She scanned me from head to toe with blatant disbelief, her eyes locking onto my jeans and plain t-shirt like they were a crime against luxury cars. "That's not possible," she snapped. "The Hendersons sold this home to a young corporate buyer. You're what, 19? "I'm 22, I replied with a friendly smile. "And yes, I closed on the house last week." Her expression darkened. She stalked around the car, inspecting it like a suspicious airport security agent. "No way someone your age owns a Bentley. I'm calling the authorities. This car's stolen, and you're trespassing." Before I could respond, she was already dialing 911, her gaze never leaving mine, daring me to run. I leaned casually against my car. This wasn't the first time someone questioned my success. As the founder of a tech firm that was recently acquired in a multi-million-dollar deal, I was used to assumptions. "Yes, I need officers here right away," she was saying into her phone, voice intentionally loud. "A suspicious male is at 2764 Maple Grove in a luxury vehicle that clearly isn't his. I suspect auto theft." I pulled out my phone and texted my assistant, letting her know my move-in would be delayed. This day was off to a fantastic start. The woman, still fuming, ended her call with a self-satisfied smirk. "Police will be here shortly. Don't go anywhere." "I'm not," I replied evenly. "This is my home, and that's my car. And I'm Evelyn Sharp," she declared, "president of the Maple Grove Homeowners Board. You don't match the profile of someone who lives here." Of course her name was Evelyn. It fit like a glove. "Ms. Sharp," I said, fishing my ID from my wallet, "I can show you proof of ownership for both the car and the house. Digital documents, if you prefer." She dismissed my ID with a wave. "I've seen fake IDs before. The board reviews new residents, and I never signed off on someone like you." I got the feeling she wasn't just referring to my age. Her lingering glare at my skin made it clear. I took a steadying breath. Her prejudice wasn't my burden to carry. "That's not how real estate works," I said. "The Hendersons accepted my offer. I went through proper legal channels. Your approval wasn't required." Her face flushed bright pink. "We'll see about that. And that car, no one your age pays for that legally. Are you running some kind of online scam?" She began snapping pictures of my license plate and windows with her phone as a few neighbors came outside to witness the commotion. "This is exactly how crime starts," she announced, projecting her voice. "Flashy cars, young strangers. Next thing you know, there are parties and police tape." I calmly opened the glove box and retrieved the vehicle registration and insurance. "Ms. Sharp, I'm a tech entrepreneur. My company was acquired last quarter. This vehicle was bought legally from a certified dealership." She refused to even glance at the paperwork. "My nephew works in cybersecurity," she scoffed. "He says faking documents is child's play these days." That's when two patrol cars pulled up. Evelyn immediately transformed from aggressive watchdog to distressed citizen. "Officers, thank goodness," she cried. "This young man is trying to claim ownership of a luxury vehicle and a house that clearly aren't his. I've been in charge of this neighborhood for years. I know all our residents." Two officers stepped out, one older, one younger, and approached me. "Sir, we got a report of a possible stolen car. Can we see some ID and the vehicle's registration?" "Of course," I said, handing over the documents I already had ready. "I'm Marcus Young. I just closed on this house last week." Evelyn hovered nearby, whispering urgently, He's using forged documents, I'm sure of it. He's way too young to live here, let alone drive that. The older officer gave her a look but said nothing. The younger officer stepped aside to run my information while the other kept watch. Evelyn wasn't finished. "That's a $300,000 car," she barked. "He's probably laundering money, or worse." "Ma'am, please give us space," the officer replied, now clearly growing tired of her antics. Moments later, the younger officer returned. "Everything checks out, car's legit. He's the registered owner. The house deed went through the county office last week." Evelyn's face twitched. "That can't be. Run it again. He probably hacked the system. You can't trust people like him." The emphasis in her tone wasn't lost on anyone. The officer turned to her. "Ma'am, what do you mean by people like him?" Evelyn blinked, stumbling over her words. "I meant young men. That age group, they don't usually—" But she was cut off by a neighbor crossing the street. An older man with a kind smile and a phone in his hand. "Officers, I've been watching from my home. My security camera caught the whole thing, including some colorful remarks made by Mrs. Sharp." "What kind of remarks?" the younger officer asked. She said, and I quote, "We can't let his kind bring down our community." There were other comments too. Evelyn turned pale. "That's all being taken out of context," she insisted. "I was just doing my duty." The senior officer handed me back my documents. "Mr. Young, everything's in order. Sorry for the inconvenience. You're free to continue moving in." Then he turned to Evelyn, his tone hardening. "Mrs. Sharp, may I speak with you over here?" They stepped aside, and though I couldn't hear the entire conversation, her frantic gestures said it all. Meanwhile, more neighbors had gathered, and none of them looked too happy with Evelyn. 10 minutes later, the officer took out his notepad. "You can't be serious!" she shrieked. "I'm the board president!" But that didn't stop the officer from reading her rights. "Evelyn Sharp, you're under arrest for filing a false police report and making discriminatory remarks during a law enforcement investigation." She protested all the way to the squad car. "You're arresting the wrong person. I was protecting the neighborhood." The door closed behind her with a thud. A week later, I received a formal letter from the Maple Grove HOA. Evelyn had been suspended pending a vote. That vote ended with a unanimous decision, 28-0. She was permanently removed from the board. She also faced legal consequences, a $6,000 fine, court-mandated community service, and a temporary license suspension from her job as a real estate broker. According to the locals, multiple clients dropped her agency shortly after the incident. When I saw her at the nearby supermarket a month later, she quickly turned away, leaving her half-full cart behind. She wouldn't even look at me. Her reign of fear and fake authority had come to an end, not by confrontation, but by accountability.